going on, guys, and welcome back to the Innovators Den. I am your host, Danny, formerly known as Hashtag, and over here with my
Co-host
co-host,
Steve
Steve.
O Business. How you doing, everyone? The Innovators Den is back. Last time we did a show, like we did it and we try to figure it out, and we're doing good right now. Like the numbers are looking good. We're growing, and thank you to the community. We have cool people now on the show, like Luca.
Hey, how's it going, guys? So I'm the artist presently known as Luca. I'm born and raised here in Brooklyn, New York.
What's your social media handle?
Design de Luca.
Design the Luca, guys. Well, tell us a little bit about yourself, like your background, what you're doing.
So presently, I am here at the Blockchain Center on 83rd and Broadway. But if we want to take it back to the beginning, I wasn't an artist until the end of 2020. I didn't begin painting until mid 2021 and exhibiting my work professionally. And then down that line, maybe a couple of months in, I wound up having the opportunity to be part of an artist residency, which was with AHA. They were down in Soho on Spring and Bowery, right above the Supreme store. It was a really cool location. I got to be in an artist residency with 8 other artists, amazing people. Got an opportunity to meet so many different characters from different trades and different businesses, from Web3, which is more in the NFT space, and being able to, connect with other crypto companies, I would like to say, from the Blockchain Center to Alpha DAO to Empire DAO. It was really cool getting to connect with these communities because it was something that I wasn't really privy to before art. So it got me into a new direction of being able to, see what happens.
Like it opened up like more.
Yeah, different world,
Yeah,
different world.
totally.
Definitely really amazing people that actually are trying to do their individual thing. They want to make themselves like, an actual business out of themselves. It's like, taking that creative direction. Been doing all of that. I'm doing a lot of art exhibitions in the next coming weeks. I'm doing a 6-week exhibition in Soho at the Front Gallery. That's going to be with 6 other featured artists during each show, which is going to be something different because every week that we have the exhibition going on, I collaborate with one of these artists.
And when is this
dope.
happening?
The entire month of May.
Gotcha. Awesome.
Yeah. So, yeah, for sure. You guys have got to come. Got to come through. It's going to be dope.
Yeah, we'll definitely be there.
Yeah.
So you said that you started getting into art, painting, 2021.
Yeah.
Like, what drove you to that?
So crazy enough, I had just moved back to New York from Montreal. I was living in Montreal for about a year and a half during COVID. Most of that I was in Montreal. So I came back to New York, and when I did, a friend of mine introduced me to this woman named Constance. She runs the Soho Renaissance Factory with a few of my other friends. Amir Diop, who's an amazing artist, 22 years old, doing some really cool stuff. NFC chips, like showing that he can add like that 3D texture to his comic books, trading cards, and his artwork, which is really amazing. It's like innovative as fuck.
It's awesome.
Yeah. So I love what he's doing, but I got invited to do this street fair.
What type of? What's like a festival or something? Or
Yeah,
art
sorry,
show?
Be a Lover Festival. Sorry, yeah.
Excellent.
Thank you for reminding me.
That's
just
how it
now.
works. That's
Yeah.
what we hear.
Sorry,
Innovators Den, guys, check it out.
I'm never good with names unless I'm with you all the time. It's just like,
Yeah.
I'm so bad with names, but I remember every face I've ever seen in my life.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. So just give us a little bit more as far as like what different projects you're into and
So at the moment, I'm collaborating with multiple companies from ordinals and inscribing artwork on Bitcoin, which is going to be presented at an auction in Miami on May 18th for Bitcoin Miami, which is really dope. I'm excited about that.
Check that out, guys. That sounds cool.
I'm doing a collaboration with Project Designs, which is a car wrapping company. We're going to be working on a piece where we might possibly be presenting this piece at the New York Auto Show.
Nice.
That's going to be coming up in April. Other than that, I'm working in collaboration with Jimmy Boyle. He's a legendary music producer from everybody from Chili Peppers, Nirvana, Alanis Morissette, freaking
awesome.
Johnny Cash. This dude is a G. He's my partner in building this magazine that we're doing called Yeah Right. It's all about culture, music. It's got like the New York City vibes. It shows focus on specific New York City photographers, people that are really about exposing what New York really is, not like what tourists see when they come.
Right.
It's the real shit, the gritty, the
New
like,
York
yo,
is a whole vibe in itself.
Yeah.
It's its own country.
and there's still spots that are like not completely like gentrified. So
Right. Exactly.
But now this is where the development comes and the networks like us coming together to bring out artists, right, and beautify the community, with like companies like RLA, Plugged In, and the blockchain, and the Innovators Den guys. And this is when we're here connecting with artists like the residential artist, Luca,
Yeah. So what's going on with you guys, man? What's new? On your
We
vibe?
got a lot going on.
Yeah.
It's moving. We put this concept out. We connected the dots with all these partners, and I think right now the goal is to organize the projects and then create a rollout. So we can just like maximize spaces and connect with the environment from doing the block to block with the stuff outside with the stumps on the trees and beautifying that, right? And maybe create a QR code for that to promote it, right? And that's the Plugged In David shout out. He's one of the geniuses behind it.
Word, shout out
You
to
know?
David. Shout out
David.
to David. He's a fucking man.
He's here. You don't see him, but he's here.
But yeah, like as far as like when you started painting, like what medium did you have to use to like did you feel comfortable with using as far as like you had to play music or something that you were doing that kind of leads you to be a better artist?
So crazy. I've always been the type to want to like move around. Very nomadic, even in careers. When it came to careers, I was always focused on trying to grow. And when I first started my first ever career, I was in the Carpenters Union for the New York City. And that was my first ever career out of high school. Like, that's what I jumped into. I learned a trade. Crazy enough, this past weekend, I went to an exhibition for a friend of mine from Paris, Julia Navarro, sorry. She had this amazing exhibit at the Plaza Hotel. And crazy enough, my first ever job as a carpenter was at the Plaza Hotel in 2006. So like I was rebuilding that place. And then when I went in there, it was so nostalgic because like the owner was just like, look at my beautiful apartment. And I'm just like, yeah, it's incredible. I built it. And she was like, wait, what? I was like, yeah. I was like, my name is on the back of the sheetrock in your apartment. I guarantee you.
That's amazing.
Yeah. But
That
that
circle.
yeah, exactly. Yeah. That kind of thing, it really like felt really cool to understand that I had so many levels of career paths that I had taken, from being a carpenter to a senior bridge engineer for Amtrak. Like it was like working on some really cool projects all over New York City and really building this city, like skyscrapers to railroad. I did it all. So it's just like when I decided to leave that and follow more of my passion as an artist, I started to see that my life was a little bit more, I felt a little more content with my life. Like, like that I was doing something that really drove me to wake up in the morning and make some crazy, exciting moves throughout the day. Just like, who am I going to meet today? Who am I going to hang out with today? Who am I going to be able to inspire? And then, been working on with that ever since. So the life and road that I've been taking with my art right now is just like, it's exciting because I know that there's so many other doorways that are going to keep opening because I'm connecting personally with all these beautiful people, like people that are woke.
Yeah, no, it's incredible.
And that's the point, like to connect the dots, right? Connecting with woke people, right? That see the vision and the powers that you're creating. We all have them. So, the next step will be like to envision the world with all these creatives and entrepreneurs that are trying to come out. It's like, y'all gotta collaborate. You know what I mean? Like, y'all gotta work together so we can maximize opportunities within the ideas, There you go. You got people saying, what's up, Luca,
really
outside.
cool.
You got fans over there.
Yeah. It's really cool.
Here at the blockchain isn't a great thing, There you go. And that's actually my sister and my family, actually. That's actually crazy, And I didn't even know they were going to be here. Oh. That's actually my family. So we're here live on TV, and I got my whole family here. So
that's dope,
Luca,
man.
you're a magical person.
That's
you see right here
right there, bro.
live. It's crazy. My family's just walking by and just, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's how powerful things go with creating content. You know what I mean?
That's incredible.
It's incredible.
What's up?
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it happens that you could create it right here live on TV on the Innovators Den. All day, every day.
Yeah, man.
Luca, that's my sister. That's my older sister. I love her. She's just walking by.
That's crazy.
She's beautiful. I love you. We already connected, so
it's amazing. No, but that's dope.
You
Are
know.
those your niece and nephew?
Yeah, that's all my family right there.
Wow, that's dope,
You know,
man.
so we love family is very important, guys. Like, why you do what you do in life, right? Like, what's the
Yeah.
point of it?
Well, that's
You
another
know,
thing. Like we shout out to the families, but being able to do what we do, right? There has
Yeah.
to be a support system, and we wouldn't be able to do what we do if we didn't have that. So thank you guys.
Nah, for it, yo, shout out to my daughter for being the coolest little girl I know, man.
Yeah.
She's like literally like my twin. She's my inspiration to do what I do and how I live today. It's just like I know I gotta be dad, and I have to be a real figure for her. I need to be
Right.
somebody that I need to be that person that she understands that when you make decisions in life, they are gonna be with real intent to make something better. And I want her to be that person that grows from what I'm trying to do. I want her to see the hustle and the grind, the real New York shit. Like,
Right.
growing up out here, you have to grind. Like, no matter what field you decide to be in, you're not gonna slack on that shit. You can't go
Right.
half-ass. So I think, that's where we working with people that aren't in that vibe as well.
Right.
Maybe we reach out to some more children's, organizations. I already work with children's organizations, from City Kids
Right.
to Partnership with Children. I just taught some painting classes to some high schoolers who are looking to get into the creative world.
That's
from
awesome.
music production to visual art and photography. Some beautiful like minds, man. They're like, I can't wait to see the next generation of artists
That's awesome.
that come out, and they're just like on some like, damn, I
It's
wish.
fulfilling. You like
Yeah.
you get fulfilled by that. That's,
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
amazing.
Right. Like the schools don't have that creative aspect of putting the kids are the new community, right?
Right.
So if these are our kids, how are we training our kids, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then especially in schools, like we don't really control who's working with them to a certain degree. But our goal at home is to have the opportunity to create and help the children of tomorrow, right? Through the school programs.
Help mold the
That's what you're
minds
doing, right?
tomorrow,
Yeah.
for sure.
Cultivate the minds of tomorrow, right?
Yeah, for real.
That's why we're here. Like we adapted to what was happening on TV, pop culture, hip hop, and we adapted to that information. And people like growing their brands online and their businesses, and all these other things happen like crypto.
Right. Right.
And that's when we circle back with all that.
So a little bit, one question. So I wanted to know, we wanted to know, the viewers want to know,
Right.
exactly like if there's one particular piece that that you want to, that it's something that you're proud of, how you got there, and what inspired that piece.
Yeah, so this piece actually right behind you, this yellow piece, it's called Distracted Faces, and this piece here specific is the first piece I ever inscribed my actual like artist signature on. So this is like my rookie card.
Wow.
And I painted this for the Be a Lover Festival, the one I was explaining about before. And I got to show this in the middle of the street. It was like block party style, which I loved.
Nice.
Then they had the garden available for people to walk in. They had like 10 different bands playing that day. There was 40 artists painting all over Lower Manhattan. It was a beautiful experience. And this is the first time I've ever exhibited any of my work.
That must
That's
be like
This is the first
really,
piece I put up. Yeah. So it's a very, very, that's like my baby right there. Like that holy grail.
With these type of content, people like, you could take it now and tap into digitizing it, right? Because now you have an original version, right? You have a website that you could promote the product from, and then also you can like make it an NFT, right? And then put it as artwork in the metaverse, and people can purchase it through there, or they could purchase a T-shirt, but you have an original that Luca did, right? So this is how everybody could like take their art and make it as a commodity, and then put a crypto on it, or
market themselves.
market themselves at the highest level, right?
Oh, yeah.
Maximize every piece of content we got, but it's also artwork. It's fine art. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
From where we come from, this is high level, right? This is like Basquiat,
I appreciate that. That sounds.
That's how I look at it.
Totally.
You're a creative genius, and that's why we on the Innovators Den talking about it. It's about talking about ideas ultimately, and then taking the mind to like put it together and make a business, right? And collaborate with companies and organizations to maximize our communities.
Right.
Because nobody like really did it for us. We had to take somebody else's word for it. When we now can come and package it and give it right back to the community and educate them at the same time as you're doing already.
Oh yeah, I try to get a lot of my artist friends into digitizing their work. I collaborate with a company called Primitives XYZ, and that company originally had me come in and design some emojis for them, or well, profile emojis. It's like this whole thing they have with their site. But I was minting a lot of my work on there. I still do. Like I every time I create a piece, I mint it directly on there. I make how many digital versions of it I want, and then I sell those off.
That's
And
genius.
that's a good way for artists to be able to monetize themselves as artists. Like it's hard to be an artist unless you're really working around the clock and putting yourself out there and introducing yourself to the right people to really recognize that you can make an ecosystem with the right collectors, and then those people will be your vibe, that's your tribe that you got going on. You built something from your creativity. So, I mean, like, branding yourself is a big deal. It's like knowing who you are and who you're going to be in the future. That all of those things like need to be incorporated into your brand, into what it is you are as an artist. You have to really love what you're doing and make it that, or, do it for fun, shits and giggles. No matter what, you still get to love something you're doing, right?
Going back, like, can you go step by step as to like how would you market as a new artist? How would you market yourself?
Personally, I'm a big fan of just showing myself off to people, what it is that I'm able to do, what it is that I love to do, what I put my mind into, and then being able to give them an actual story behind it. So like this piece behind you, Distracted Faces, is a take on a person that's feeling judged and knowing that this is the story of not judging a book by its cover type of deal. So it's like, this character, he's upset, and that's why his eyes are red, but the blue around his mouth shows that whatever he's going to respond is going to be cool and collective. And his teeth are gold because everything he speaks to this person in response is going to be of value. So then he's got this third eye on his chin, and that's because everything that he's thinking is going to be verbalized. And that's where I was going with this character's tone of attitude. But then I gave him different perceptions, from being able to see him straight on to seeing him sideways in a cubist feel. And then I gave him this like red crown that's technically him releasing his energy and showing that he's bigger than the person that he's getting judged by.
Wow.
Then you have the chakras on his throat and in his chest, and that's to show that he's very zen. And the warm yellow and orange backdrop depicts the energy that he resonates, which is the sun. It's unlimited. So I added my well-known brand signature there on the bottom.
It's multi-dimensional.
And this is fully finger painted. I didn't use
Shout
any
out to
brushes.
Wiley.
It's entirely finger painted. And that's the way I like to paint. I don't like to use brushes. I typically just finger paint. If anybody's ever seen me paint, they see I just use my hands. Even when I do oil paintings, like clean, but I'm using my fingers and just like being so fragile. It'll take me 4 or 5 weeks to do one painting.
Wow.
And some days it'll take me about an hour to make one. So it's like, it's based on, exactly where my energy is going with it, how deep I want to be with it, what kind of story I want to relate to the viewer.
I see that you use a lot of like vibrant colors, right? So what does these colors mean to you, like in your art when you're using it?
So the significance of the colors I use are to either catch the viewer's eye, because there's sometimes I actually do make black and white pieces. And when I do black and white pieces, it's more of like knowing what the focal point of the image is. So the brighter the color or the more the contrast of the art, I kind of like let that be the focal point or target for your eyes to go towards. And in that moment, you get to see, the main story and then see how it's supposed to develop later down the line, which is the background.
So we're looking forward to now using spaces, right? And we want to maximize spaces through doing certain like art gallery shows, right? That's the goal, right? We're looking to work with community developments to also have like pop-ups, right? With not only our art, but the community's art, and build on top of that, right?
Right. So I'm tied in with a bunch of different communities everywhere from the Garment District to, all the way up to the Blockchain Center, where art is actually being displayed right now. On 38th and Broadway at the Garment District window, there's art being displayed from some of the most well-known artists, from Samo Al Diaz, who was like a collaborator of graffiti with Basquiat. He has his work in the window at the moment right now.
That was 38th and what? I'm sorry.
38th and Broadway.
38th and Broadway.
Yeah.
Check out that window.
Yeah. It's right up the block from the post office. It's like...
Yeah, I think I have an idea where it's at.
Yeah.
Yeah, the garment district is trying to revamp now, right? And they're trying to take their idea of that they're part of the building of the community of not only the garment district but New York City, you know.
Yeah.
So it's cool what they doing over there. So what are the next steps that we want to go with, as far as any other promotions that you have going on, as far as information that you want to put out and remind everybody to check out.
At the moment, I'm doing some really cool things. From March 28th to April 2nd, I'll be at the New York Art Expo, booth 315. If you want to come check out my work,
Okay, go check that out.
I'll be there alongside Haitian artist Samo. Dude is off the hook. He's just an intelligent being, like really cool friend. I appreciate that guy on another level. Like, I appreciate his work. Just a creative genius.
Awesome.
At the same time, I have the New York City car show coming up.
Oh, you mentioned that.
Yeah, and I'm gonna
Oh, you're gonna wrap the car.
I'm gonna wrap the car. Yeah, with my design work.
What car is it?
Oh, it's to
But
be
keep it
seen.
a
I ain't
secret?
snitching on that,
Ah!
bro. Chill, bro.
I
Ain't let
gotta
nobody
find
know
out.
about
We
that.
might
You gotta
get
come
the
see it.
insight at the end of
You'll
it.
see it, right?
Yeah, come through.
You see it, you'll know.
All right, so there you go.
Yeah, it's
Everybody
gonna be
pull up,
crazy.
and it's gonna
We'll
be
be there
it's gonna be a whole vibe. No,
Yeah.
that's a good presentation.
Yeah, it's gonna be
We
it's gonna
should-
be something cool. I'm also trying to get some work done with some other companies I can't talk about until I make it definitive. But
So the
like
contract is signed.
yeah. But something really cool possible, which I'm excited to
That's awesome.
jump towards. But I'm also working alongside my partner Kelly Lucas. She's a founder of the Parallels. It's an art gallery involved in brokering some really expensive and really cool blue chip art.
Awesome.
It's exciting to see these pieces moving. Everything from Basquiat to Banksy's. We got some cool Keith Haring pieces.
Wow.
These things are all coming along pretty nicely. I'm working with different businesses left and right, so I got a little
It's
sidetracked.
just so much. Nah, it's just this is part of it. Like we got so much going on. It's like we can't say it all in an hour, right? Like we have so much going on, and it's amazing that we could come together and put these minds and put it to work, so we can maximize what we have going on.
Yeah.
Shout out to David and the Plugged In.
Yeah, we have just a few more questions. Like,
Yeah.
any I guess touching points that you want to give to a young artist on how to start, or how to begin putting their art out there or whatnot.
If I had to tell any other artists or people that were just aspiring to become artists, like professionally, I would just say work on your branding and understand the meaning of art is subjective entirely, because when you make art something that just gets too personal, you wind up not wanting to express it to people the way you want, and that's when people don't jump into the career of being an artist or jump into that field, because they might be afraid that people won't like their art. You got to just put yourself out there. Sometimes you never know who's gonna look at your work like it's the most genius thing that's ever
Then
been created.
how does the valuation work, right? Because evaluation is also subjective, right? So
Right. So, well, me personally, I put myself, in the art world, and I made myself, very visible in it. So at the same time, those kind of things, have got my direction of career where it is at the present time. It's like, I wasn't really thinking I'd be right here at this moment of an art career in such little amount of time, but I do also understand how I work.
yeah,
I'm out there talking to all the
I
right
don't know
people.
how it happened, but you did the work, right?
Yeah.
10,000 hours is really there.
Yeah.
The 10,000 hours.
Yeah, that's easy.
usually how it
That's
goes.
easy. Yeah,
Yeah.
10,000 hours is easy.
not.
That's I did 110 hours a week working at Amtrak. That's nothing.
So,
10,000 hours is quick.
no, you get there fast, to be
Yeah,
honest.
yeah.
Anything else where people can find you, where we can find out more about the events that you have coming?
Yeah, so
out.
you could check out the website. It's gonna be designdeluca.com. You can also hit me on my gram. You can message me. I do commission pieces. I do sip and paint events if your company is looking to do some really cool stuff with some artists out here in New York City.
Like pop-up events.
Yeah, some pop-up joints would be amazing to be doing. I don't mind. It's like, show up at your kid's bar mitzvah or something. It's just like,
I saw
yo, let's
something
paint something
online.
crazy real quick.
I saw something online. It was like a mixture of paint and sip. That's what you call it.
Paint and sip, yeah.
Paint and sip,
Yeah.
and just stand up acts like
Yeah.
showcasing their music and stuff like that, and it was a pretty cool vibe.
Yeah.
So that
Well, yo,
was something coming up.
shout out to my homegirl Lena. She started this whole shit called Arab Socials, and she had me teach one of the socials that she did, and she had such a great turnout. It was like at least like 40 heads showed up for this.
Wow.
And I got to teach, I think, 5 art classes that day. It was the first time ever doing it. I'm chilling there, and I'm like, yo, this is actually really fun.
Yeah,
Right.
that sounds like fun.
Yeah,
Everybody likes to sip and paint.
yeah,
You know.
yeah, for sure.
Well, we appreciate having you,
Yo,
Luca.
Yo, good looks, kid. Appreciate being here.
Follow us on the Innovators Den. Make sure you follow formerly known as hashtag.
Steve O Business.
And Design de Luca on Instagram, man. Hit me up.